Welcome to Sports Talk with Ben, episode 5, I think. Today I'm here with Brevin Dahl, and we're talking about the college football playoff semifinal matchups about to take place on January 1st, New Year's Eve. The first matchup is Alabama versus Michigan, which is a Rose Bowl. Brevin, what are your thoughts on that, and how's that going to go down?
I think that I definitely have Alabama in that game. I think they've been on a roll recently, beating Georgia in the SEC championship. And I think that Michigan hasn't had the strength of schedule that Alabama has, so I think that Michigan's going to be a little shocked this year. And I think that they'll go down in the semifinals for the third year in a row.
I think, I want Michigan to win, but I think Alabama's going to beat them 31-17, and Michigan, like you said, will lose for the third year in a row. They can't win big games. I mean, they can beat Ohio State, but they can't win bowl games. I think it'd be a hard-fought game in the first half, and then Alabama will pull away after halftime. Texas versus Washington, something's got to give in that game. It's the All-State Sugar Bowl. Penix versus Ewers, two great teams. 2 versus 3, something's got to give. What do you think's going to happen in that game?
I think I have Washington in that game. I think they're two really evenly matched opponents, but I've had a thing for Washington this year. I like their, I guess they're not really the underdogs, but they kind of play with that underdog mentality, and I like Michael Penix's story from being in Indiana and tearing his ACL a couple times, and now being a Heisman finalist. So I just think that it'd be cool if Washington could win, because you don't see a Pac-12 team get in there,
especially since it's the last year of the Pac-12. I think that game's going to come down to who has the ball last, but I like Washington 34-27. Michael Penix drives down and gets a game-winning touchdown.
Okay.
So now, what do you think of Florida State being left out, going 13? I mean, Jordan Travis got injured.
Yeah.
That's why most people think they got left out. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that I'm really against it. I think that if any team, especially a Power 5 team, goes undefeated, they should have a chance to play for a national championship, because they've done all they can to have a chance, and the committee putting Alabama in over
13
Florida State, I think, kind of says that anyone in the ACC wouldn't have had a chance that year.
I know it's just stupid, because they just favor the SEC.
Yeah, and I think another thing is, it's not like Jordan Travis got hurt in the ACC championship. They proved that they can win without him, and that's all that matters is getting that W. It doesn't matter how pretty it is. So I think that they beat a respectable team, Louisville, in the ACC championship, and I think that they should. I think they proved themselves enough without Jordan Travis.
It seems like the playoff committee's criteria for putting in top 4 teams doesn't go off of strength of schedule or look at the eye test, because there was twice where Alabama, they barely beat Southern Alabama, and they almost lost to Missouri.
Yep, they had a really close game with Southern Florida too.
Yeah, and then Florida State played close games, but and then here's where a team like Florida State this year will benefit next year, because there's 12 teams in the college football playoff, and it's going to be a different landscape for college football, and I think it'd be a lot better too, because then it's not just Alabama, Georgia.
I think expanding it to 12 is definitely the right thing to do. I think that having the cutoff be at 4, I think that there's a good chance that whoever gets left out, so this year it's Florida State, and in past years it's been other teams, but the 5th team in the country, I think, has a legitimate shot to win the national championship every single year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that going up to 12, the cutoff being 13, I think, say the 13th team gets let out, I don't think that there's a reasonable chance that that team would actually end up winning the national championship compared to Florida State being left out this year, being the 5th best team in the country. I think that they'd have a better shot at it.
Yeah, I also think I'm not gonna say it'll favor the higher seeds, but the first round of games are the home teams have actual home games at their home field instead of we're gonna play inside of a dome.
Yeah.
So then the teams that play in cold weather, especially the teams from California, Oregon and Washington. I mean, I guess it's a disadvantage, but
yeah,
it'd be fun to see those playoff games come December.
That's just another reason to do well during the regular season, to get a higher seed and so you can have that home field advantage.
Any final thoughts?
I don't know, what are your, so you said Texas, right? Or no, Washington wins and Alabama wins. Who do you have in the national championship in that game?
I have Alabama.
Okay.
24-17.
Okay. I think I'm going to take Alabama too. And I don't think it's going to be a blowout like last year, but
Yeah.
I think they'll beat them pretty steadily.
Tune into the semifinals January 1st on ABC and ESPN at 4:30 and 7:45. That's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.